In this video, you are going to talk about rational numbers. So what does mean rational numbers? So let's see. Chapter 1, Lesson 1. As I said, we are going to talk about rational numbers. What's our aim in this subject? As you can see in here, rational number, these are always the rational numbers. Okay? Any number that can be written like a fraction in this form, it's going to be rational number. Okay, 1 over 2 is a rational number, 1 over 8 is a rational number. Any numbers, if we can change to in the form a over b, like this, a over b as a fraction, it's called rational numbers. Okay, now let's see what's our aim in this subject. Our object in this lesson, learn to write rational numbers. This one, learn to write rational numbers in equivalent forms and how to evaluate a numerical expression involving absolute value. Okay, and we have some new vocab in this lesson we need to know. Let's see. Rational number, relatively prime numbers, absolute value. Okay, we are going to talk about one by one in this video. Okay, before we are going to start, let's do a quick review about simplifying. I explained it in the previous video. How can we simplify the fraction? Okay, so simplifying means how can we make it the fraction simpler? By what? Division. There are two ways, GCF, or we can use divisibility rules. So for example, 2 and 4, what is the common, let's say the common number between 2 and 4? We can say 2, it means 2 times, for example, 2 and 4. Okay, 2 times 1, it's 2. Let's say 2 times 2, it's 4, and 4 times 1. So what is the common number between 2 and 4, between these two lists of the factors? 2. Okay, and it's the greatest one. It's GCF. It is 2. So I divided by 2. So it's going to be 1 out of 2. So the answer is going to be 1 out of 2. About the second example, 10 and 25. So it's going to be 1 times 10, it's 10. 2 times 5, it's 10. The second one, it's going to be 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 1, it is 25. So look, between these two lists of the factor, what's the common number? 5. So GCF is 5. Okay, so I will divide it by 5. It's going to be 2. So it's going to be 2 out of 5. So the answer, it is 2 out of 5. This one is about simplifying. And we have absolute value. Also, we studied this subject in grade 6 and grade 7. What does mean absolute value? Absolute value, it's like a distance. Always the distance cannot be the negative. Okay, so for example, can we say, let's say we have this box. Can we say how long the length of this box? Can we say negative 5 meters the distance? No. So always it has to be positive, right? So look at this number line. The 0 is in the middle, and the right hand side is positive, the left hand side is negative. And remember this one, negative 5, absolute value, this is the symbol, and 5. Okay, these two there's only one answer, which is 5. Okay, whenever we have negative absolute value of 5, and positive 5, the absolute value of positive 5, there is only one answer, which is 5. Let's see why it's 5. Question 1, absolute value of negative 4. Here is the negative 4. Means how many units away from 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4 the answer. Okay. The absolute value of 5, here is 5, positive 5. Means how many units away from 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Answer, absolute value of 5, it is 5. Without the number line, we can just memorize whenever we have the absolute value, there is only one answer, which is positive. And the last one, absolute value of negative 3 plus the absolute value of 4. Take the absolute value of both numbers. The absolute value of negative 3, it is 3, plus the absolute value of negative 4, it is 4, plus them, it is 7 the answer. Okay. Now this is the definition of the rational numbers. Are any numbers that can be written as a fraction in form a over b, where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. For example, we have, let's say, 0.2. 0.2, we know it's not a fraction, but can we write 0.2 in this form like a over b? If we can change to a over b, we are going to say it is a rational numbers. Okay. Okay, the question says simplify the following fractions. We need to simplify these questions one by one. I will just solve question 1 and question 3. Let's say I can say divided by 2. Why? Because 2 times 3, it's going to be 6, and 2 times 5, it's going to be 10. So I will divide it by 2. It is going to be 6 divided by 2, it's 3. 10 divided by 2, it is 5. And do not forget to write negative sign in here. Okay. And question 3, this question, we can use the divisibility. We can say the last digit of both numbers are even, or we can say 24 and 32. 24 means 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 24, 3 times 8 is 24, 4 times 6 is 24. 32, we can say 1 times 32, 2 times 16 is 32, 3 we don't have it, 4 times 8, it is 32, right? Now look at the common number. What number is a common number and the biggest one? 8 is the common one and it is the greatest number, so GCF is 8. So I will divide it by 8 divided by 8. So 24 divided by 8, it's 3. 32 divided by 8, it's going to be 4, and put negative. So this is the answer. Okay. These are the steps. Find the GCF. I found the GCF, which is 8. And the second step, the second one, it is divided by the GCF. Okay. This question is the same as, you can do it by yourself. Okay, writing decimals as a fractions. We have these two questions, question 6 and question 7. We have a decimal. We need to write as a fraction. This is the point. Fraction. Okay. Whenever we hear about the fraction, means A over B. Let's solve question 6. How can we change 0.75 in the form A over B? I will write it. We studied this one. Remove the point. It's going to be 75. 2 numbers after the point, we can say it's 100. Okay. But go back to the question. The question says simplest form. We need to simplify. 75 over 100, it's a big number. I'll use the divisibility. The last digit is 5 and the last digit is 0. So we say if the last digit is 0 or 5, we can divide it by 5. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. So it's going to be 25 out of 100 divided by 5. It is 20, right? So still we can simplify it more in here. Divided by 5 again. Divided. Sorry. I made a mistake in here. Sorry. Divided by 5. 100 divided by 5, it is 20. Okay. So 75 divided by 5, let's use the long division, we can use it. 75 and 5. How many 5 in 7? 1 times 5, 5. So 2, 25. How many? 15. Okay, 15 out of 20. Still we can divide it by 5 because the last digits is 5 and 0. Divided by 5. Divided by 5. So it's going to 50 divided by 5, it's 3. 20 divided by 5, it is 4. So 3 over 4, okay? This is the answer of question 6. Question 7. Question 7, 1.125. Remove the points. I will write the whole numbers is next to the fraction 1 and 125 out of, let's say, how many digits? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1000. I'll divide it by 1000. So this question is the same as question 6. We can divide it by 5. Why? Because the last digit, this one is 0, this one is 5. So divided by 5. Divided by 5. Okay. So 125 divided by 5, it's going to be 25. And 1000 divided by 5, it's going to be 200. Okay. Still we can simplify it more. Divided by 5 again. Why I divided by 5? Because the last digit is 0, this one is 5. So 25 divided by 5, it's going to be 5. And 200 divided by 5, it's going to be 40. Still we can simplify more. Divided by 5 again. By 5, it's going to be 5 divided by 5, it's 1. 40 divided by 5, it's going to be 8. So 8 and 1 over 8. Okay. And this example I will just write as a fraction. You can simplify it by yourself. Let's see. Write each decimals as a fraction. We know the fraction means a over b. I'll write it -3. So it's going to be 26 out of 100 because there are 2 digits. This one 35 out of 100. Okay. Writing fractions as a decimal. We have this form like 5 over 8 and 3 over 5. We need to change a number that has decimal point. We need to use the long division in here. How? To write the fractions, to change fraction as a decimal, we need to use the long division. As I said, we need to draw the S letter in here. 5 is inside and 8 is outside. Okay. Now do our long division. How many 8 in 5? Nothing. 0 times 8, 0. It's going to be 5. There is a remainder. Bring it down to 0. How many 8 in 50? Let's say I can say 6. 6 times 8, 48. Minus at 50, it's going to be 2, 0 again. How many 8 in 20? I can say 2. 2 times 8, 16. It is going to be 420 minus 16 is 4. Add more 0. How many 8 in 40? 5. 5 times 8, 40. So 0, 0. So the answer is going to be 0.625. This is the first. This is the first answer of question 11. The second one is the same as question 11. Draw the S letter. 3 is inside. 5 is outside. How many 5 in 3? Or 3 divided by 5, it's 1. 1 times 0. How many 5 in 3 is 0? 0 times 5, 0. 3, put the point, bring it down to 0. How many 5 in 30? 6. 6 times 5, 30. So 0, 0. So the answer of this question is going to be 0.6 negative. Why? Because we have negative in here. Question 13 and question 14. You can do it by yourself. Draw the S letter in here, long division. Then do the long division. Okay. This is the absolute value. How can we evaluate the absolute value? As I say, the absolute value, there is only one answer. Remember this note. The absolute value of -4, the -4, and the absolute value of 4, there is only one answer, which is 4. Okay, always is positive, the answer of the absolute value. Let's solve question 16. The absolute value of -3 plus the absolute value of 11. Take the absolute value of each number. The absolute value of -3, it is 3, plus the absolute value of 11 also is 11, then plus them, it is 14. Question 17, -2, the absolute value of -2 plus the absolute value of -9, so it's going to be 2 plus 9, it's going to be 11. Question 18 and question 19 is the same. Question 3, what is the absolute value of 10 minus -5, the bracket, the absolute value? In here we study before in subtracting integers, whenever we have two negatives together next to each other, remember the face. Okay, negative times negative, hide these two negative, the amount is positive, so it's going to be 10 plus 5, and we write the absolute value. So 10 plus 5, it's 15. The absolute value of 15, it is 15. So the answer, it is 15.